After a hard-fought battle against Crew, G2 were looking to be the first Ascension team to qualify for the next stage. Evil Geniuses, on the other hand, were ready to show the world if they had what it takes to defend their title as world champions, despite having 4 out of their 5 players no longer together. Leading up to this game, all eyes were on Potter and Jogamo, and rightly so. World champions deserve respect, but after these results, we as a community need to start including the likes of Superman, Apoth, Nature, and Derek in EG's story now. This is a team-based game, and as a team, they showed up. During map selection, it's safe to say EG got exactly what they wanted. Sunset and Icebox were the same 2 maps that G2 played against Crew. And as you will see, Evil Geniuses used those 6 days to counter strat against G2. But first we have to give this Ascension team some credit. They came out swinging, playing patiently and working the map to pick apart EG's defense to get a 7-0 lead. However, thanks to some timeouts and this new op angle Superman showed the world,
5 people and they haven't left T-spawn. And what is that angle from Superman? Where is he? I did not even know you could see spawn from here. And Trent still challenging.
they were able to end the half at 4-8. G2 ultimately lost because their defense had some issues, one of which was mid control. Here you can see Derek decides to go mid with a Ghost instead of the 100 Thieves classic that he had in the first half. Getting to mid was huge for EG winning that round, but it doesn't stop there. Round 16, we have the dynamic duo of Derek and Apoth taking mid, and kept Leaf from reuniting with his team. By sending this Prowler, it made Leaf hesitate, while Apoth went into their spawn. This is just a perfect display of divide and conquer.
Apoth was serious lurk timing, but
there's no way they know. They can't know.
oh my gosh, there's a world.
Unaware of where he could be, he finds value onto the first, waiting for the challenge onto a second, and it's clean.
Down A.
Derek in a clutch situation.
They don't know where he is.
The element of surprise on his side. Jonah P's gonna get cleaned up.
Fatal online.
13 seconds left. The spike's not in hand. He's gonna have to get onto this. He's gonna have to do it quickly. And Derek does. The Red Bull clutch for EG.
And that is all off of Apoth, taking that mid control, as you said.
Actually, this man Apoth was in G2 spawn throughout EG's offense. Round 18, he decides to just walk into Garage for free. Him taking this space gave Nature the confidence and some info to let his ult rip at the right time.
They invest a Rolling Thunder? Wow. They're gonna push into this. Look at how far up Apoth is! The Stinger's great. Nature gets another one with his own utility, upgrades the weapon, and punishes a third. But Trent on the counter. Nature now left alone, nothing but a classic in hand.
I guess Apoth figured since he was in LA, he might as well go sightseeing on Sunset. He took so many paths through mid into their spawn. I'm sure this is one of the weaknesses Potter and Crew saw when G2 was playing Crew. G2's mid hold was weak, and there were a handful of times Crew just walked into mid for free. The only difference is that Crew was not as successful as EG in this match. Eventually, G2 would adapt and start to set up Cypher utility to stop those sneaky mid pushes, but it was already too late. Their 7-0 lead vanished. Heroics did play a part too.
Go aggressive with the net is at least gonna get half the spam drops. There's the fault line on the swing, but Trent went a little bit aggressive. He's gonna stick it! Oh my gosh, Nature goes massive for EG!
So many players on this EG roster have this clutch potential.
However, Evil Geniuses had many weaknesses too, and especially one apparent one on attack. For whatever reason, Jogmo just refused to check this one corner. There was like a total of 3 rounds where he did not look left and got punished for it. I want to mention this. One of the teams Jogamo was rumored to be trialing for was G2, but apparently they didn't want to wait for his contract to be up, so they went with Leaf instead. Overall, Leaf did have better stats, so their choice didn't look too bad. However, Raze is a duelist, and on Sunset, they can shine as attackers, which Jogamo was able to pull off. And when we solely compare their offensive stats, he outplayed Leaf. G2's Raze only had 1 first kill and 4 first deaths, while Evil Genius's beloved Raze had 4 first bloods and 0 first deaths. If it wasn't for his inability to look left, Jogamo probably would have had even more kills. But at the end of the day, he still had great teammates who helped him secure wins, like Derek.
Another timing through mid. And this is a huge gap that EG has been abusing.
I mean, they've been making this area of the map
No
their own,
way!
I think, onto net. They just don't have the guns to respond. just has a stinger here, does not seem to be interested in any of it. The paranoia.
What a flash.
It's gonna hit both. He's gonna find them both. He gets the first. He has to switch weapons. Right click, not connecting. Buying some time, nothing but 3 bullets. Tries to grab the weapon and it's just out of reach. Derek with a massive round.
I'm sure plays like this reminded people why Derek was one of the most statistically clutch players before joining 100 Thieves. And when it came to Icebox, Evil Geniuses had a surprise for everybody. Deadlock. And it was none other than Jogamo running this agent. Running no duelist on Icebox isn't a big deal. Teams have had success with this by choosing not to. But this is Deadlock's first pick in a tier 1 tournament. And I guess since EG won this game, Deadlock has a 100% win rate, so expect nerfs to come in from Riot devs. I'm just joking, of course. I still think this agent needs some buffs, but there were still a handful of moments EG were able to get value from using her, especially on B site.
Oh, you hear the Brim Molly coming out. Is that for yellow? Look at the stun!
And the spam! I mean, they've got these protocols.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Deadlock's utility help here, and Viper's Molly made me realize how much more dangerous it could have been if they had a raise to throw their nade. I personally wouldn't mind if Deadlock's grab net was her signature ability and it was rechargeable too. Mainly because I think it's just her best ability outside of her ult. Her wall is good, but in the very first round we can see its flaw since teams can just easily break it.
And look at how much value this early wall gets. You're gonna get so much info when they start breaking it.
And it's gonna, I mean, it's gonna take a while, right? You don't have to really the weapons to spam it down quickly. You've just got pistols and knives, so.
Yep.
Think about it,
However, there were moments where you can find value with it, like here where Leaf just kind of got stuck.
Seems like they could be able to get on A. Pretty free though. I mean, it's just a knife and then the molly.
Is he stuck? I think he has to shoot the wall. He's stuck.
Yeah, you're right. Leaf doesn't get to play the game this round.
Sets him up for a late lurk, I guess.
All part of the plan. Valen feeling some of the damage. Jogamo from up top, able to take one with him. As Nature swings back in, and there it is.
Basically making G2 take the site in a 4v5. This might have been a little bit of hindsight Harry, but they should have just waited for Leaf to get out. Also, when it came to rotations, Deadlock's trip helped slow down G2.
Killing mid.
30
Makes
seconds left.
Superman have to rotate off. Not being able to play off these trips, but it delays.
Yeah.
Is it enough time?
There's the second.
Both traps. And now you see the value from the Deadlock. Can they delay the plan? Viper Molly should be coming out anytime soon from Superman.
Another one out. You're right.
Regardless, those stuns help EG get into position to fight for B site. If it wasn't for Leaf lurking mid, EG would have won this round thanks to Deadlock's trips. Overall, Jogamo did pop off on the defense with Deadlock, but on attack, her value was less apparent. I feel like you kind of have to run double sentinels if you want to play her on Icebox. I think maybe you could get away with it on Fracture, but KJ is still really good on that map too. Placing trips around the box and post plants would be ideal, but you have to live long enough for that to work. Having Viper and KJ already playing post plants is enough. Having a third player back would just make things easier for the opponents to retake site for a defuse. Luckily for EG, Superman decided to put his Pokemon Crocs into sports mode and take over on offense. He had a whopping 356 ACS on attack, with 236 average damage per round as well. Both these stats are highest in the server. Overall, EG did have some success with Deadlock.
First,
How many people will he get with this?
I don't know that it tagged anyone. It was just a little bit out of reach.
Huge kill from Trent. Doesn't get out though. There's
There it is. Oh, net got. Oh! Derek's gonna take it the whole way. There's really no reason to challenge or do anything with it.
Wow. 4 on the round, already building up to another Deadlock ult.
But I'm not entirely sure if they should keep running with this agent. G2 did a good job making both maps close, but it felt as if the pressure got to them towards the end. Potter here proves that she was the better coach who helped prepare her team for these wins. They got a well-deserved playoff berth and only one win away from Madrid. G2 would need to fix up their mid-hold on Sunset if they want to beat Crew in their rematch. I can't wait to see what both these teams do in the future, and I'll be covering both, so feel free to subscribe and like the video if you made it this far, and I'll see you guys in the next one.